Greetings and salutations. Ben here, Trev there, Steve right about there. You all everywhere because we're nationwide, worldwide, in fact. Let's see. Welcome to Sunday Night hanging here on a Sunday. Unless you're watching in the future, then it's a Monday or another day. Sure. Please hit subscribe for more professional quality content like you're hearing right now. Or, welcome back if you're returning, because I really should write a script after 7 years, Trev, but nope.
Yeah, it does. We can tell it's you by the way you do your intro.
By the way that I do the thing, right? Right.
The thing.
And we got Steve Brand here, folks. Special
Hello,
guest. We're gonna talk about all kinds of things that he knows about, and even a couple things he doesn't, because
I prefer talking about those.
right.
Nice.
It's a bigger list of the
Yes.
stuff I don't know about. Right.
More versatile in the don't knows.
Right. Now, I'm just going to let the chat fill in here because it says we only got 18 people watching, Trev, and I find that hard to believe. So that's a small thing. And my glasses are very streaked because I forgot to clean them after shoveling the driveway today because it snowed. And then after, I shoveled it enough so when Scott came over, he wouldn't be walking around in the snow, right? And then by the time he was leaving, I was telling Steve it's trying to rain anyways. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Usually the way.
Should we talk about the beautiful sunny day we had here, Trev?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
A little chilly. There was some sub-zero this morning. I think it was like
It was definitely 0 here at dawn. Yeah, it was a frosty morning.
It was frosty here. Well, actually, I woke up to snow, so it was very white. You know how that is because when you get up to use the washroom during the night and you don't turn the light on. But why is there a lot of ambient light in the bathroom? Oh, because it's white outside.
The ground is reflective.
Yeah. See who we got in the chat here. We got first in the chat, Steve Reeser. Steve Brand, is that you? It is.
It's
Steve
me.
and Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, right. Then we got Joe Alba in here. L Bar J in the chat. Bonkers. JP Page 2. Billy Baloney and the stupid number. Billy in here. Munch Michelli is here. Ryan Hall, y'all. He's here.
Our music
Mark
and life.
Virgin. Great to see
Mark
Mark.
Virgin.
Who else we got here? They're all just talking. Papa Blue. Guitar Man 45. Dennis Ellis. Paul McNary. Oh, joining in. They carpooled.
Oh.
He's not Martian Nora Murray, but he's still here anyways. What's up, Chris? I'll say his real name because I can. Blackjack Guitar here.
Right on. Cheers, Blackjack.
I think I know, but I don't want. Hey, there's Trey Shreddings. What's up, Trey? Great to see you.
Cheers, man.
Yeah.
Oh, who else? Offbeat Bass Gear. That's Dark Rob. What's up, Rob? Oh, I forgot to message Rob. Hey, Rob, we're good with doing a Water Buffalo meeting this coming Saturday? Usual time and place? See, now he's welcome to Charles World, where you don't do a heads up, even though they
All of a sudden, what?
on air. What?
Yep.
Yep. Blue Mox is here. Great to see Blue Mox.
Yeah,
Greasy Monkey Guitars.
Greasy.
Yep, there we go. So we got Water Buffalo meeting for channel members and patrons this coming Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central. Check your local listing. What?
Wait, Steve Brand, hey, what's up, Rod? Squid James, how's it going? Trev, what's up, bro? Hey, Squid James, see you later.
Thanks, Q.
It's Quentin Drive-By.
Yep. Get your value for your money from that guy.
I
Right?
think it was somebody's birthday or something.
Yeah, I don't pay him a dime, and he earns every cent of it.
That's right.
Keith H. is here. I saw him.
Steve.
Nice. Ferd Burfel.
Hi, Bird.
So if you have any questions for any of us, you can use the @ sign, or you can put some question marks out front, or stand out with a super chat. I will not turn that down. That's all right. There's Pops himself right there. Drive by.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Hey, what's up, Brian? He's like, you pay him too much. I know. Really? You should be paying me.
Really?
He only ever offers to pay me in American cigarettes, and
Nobody wants those.
No, nobody wants those. What's up, Eddie Van Hadley? Hey, there's Hit Metalworks. He's alive and well. Well, he's alive.
Okay.
Well, he is. Doing well. Awesome. So I've been wanting to do this for a while. Steve knows stuff, Trev, and you know that.
Oh, I know that.
So, it's interesting because for the rare occasion, anytime I talk theory, Steve, you pop out of the woodwork into the chat.
It's weird, isn't it?
It is. Because I don't talk about it often because I don't really have a lot to talk about. But when I do,
but we feel it. We feel it in the force.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Hey, no, it's pontificating.
Yes, I must go join in.
Right? Yeah. I know that stuff. I want to look smart.
SMRT, baby.
Yeah, that's it. We look smart. Thanks, Trey. Says, Oops, that's Keith. But am I driving okay? I think we're parked, man.
You're doing great.
Yeah. Been there. Nope. What? No.
So it's amazing how close you can get to something before you hit it.
That's true. That's really true. Yeah. Eddie Faye's here. Okay, we got a nice little crowd filling in. 35, it says. I don't believe it. I think it's still propaganda. But.
Yeah. And that's when an Englishman has a really good look at something.
It is. I see what you did there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Wordplay, Trev. You like wordplay.
Lots of pun.
Steve says, I can tell that's Quentin James because of the way he is and rocks.
You can always tell with Quentin.
Yeah, there's not much doubt, is there?
Nope. There's McCullum Music.
Brother Matt.
He released a music video the other day, complete with a man bun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man bun, just have curly hair. Yeah.
It was a ponytail that just kind of shoehorned
none of the conditioner.
Well, it's
conditioner, Matt.
Yeah, it's a ponytail that didn't get pulled all the way through, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you want to look like a knotted garbage bag.
Mm-hmm.
Caught up in the chat there. Nice. Yeah, facepalm. I know, Matt. That's okay. Yeah, it's okay. We like you anyways. Oh. So I'm trying to think. The first time I became aware of Steve, I think it was our friend John DeShane. It's like, I know this guy.
Yeah.
I know this guy. He takes care of my stuff, takes care of me, and I know this guy. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, well, the more I get to know John, he's pretty finicky on, everything.
Yeah.
Just say the least. He likes things the way he likes things.
And this is witnessing, years of him badgering Pete Thorne and Dave Friedman about questions whenever they were live. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm trying to think, Trev, would have been an OU show or possibly it might even been a whiskey weekend.
I think it was probably a whiskey weekend.
I got to meet Steve virtually. And I was like, ooh, this guy, he could do better than hanging out with these ne'er-do-wells. But
well, it's slim pickings in these parts.
Yeah. We have a small population up here, right?
But yeah, so I'm curious, Steve, how did you end up in BC? Because you don't sound like you speak in the local vernacular.
Okay, so here's the deal. So I'm English born.
Yes.
But I was in Canada by the time I was 1 year old. And at the time, my dad was a TV and film sound engineer.
Okay.
And so we traveled quite a bit. So we did east to west in the few years. And then he had a contract with a production company in Soho in London for 12 months to go and do some production work. So the idea was my parents with me and my newborn sister would go back to England for a year, go visit everybody while he did the contract. And then we'd come back to Canada permanently. Unfortunately, in that 12 months, he fell ill and passed away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So obviously my mom with two young kids in tow stayed put because that's where the extended family and support was.
Sure.
You know, so I eventually came back in '95 for a few weeks to do a little reconnaissance mission. And the reason why I came to BC was that was when my sister was born, and she had already moved out. So I was like, all right, I'm going to come visit you for a few weeks, see what the work situation is and everything, and then make up my mind if I'm going to come back too. And heck, I was literally lined up in YVR with my passport in hand, and I was like, I'm home. And I was still in the bloody airport, but you know, the sort of weird sort of spiritual homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, yeah, I visited with her for 5 weeks, and it was clear that, you know, work would be great, all that sort of stuff. 97 was a booming time in Vancouver for live music as well.
Right.
So yeah, as soon as I got back to England, I filled out the paperwork and bought a ticket. So
Nice.
and I've been here since April '97. So to me, I've come home, even though I'm English born.
Sure.
So I have dual citizenship and all that sort of stuff. So,
Okay.
but that's why
I totally, yeah, like,
speak's funny.
I almost moved out there myself in '92 after high school because I had a bunch of buddies that moved out there because that's where the music scene was. It was like Toronto and Vancouver. If you want to play cover tunes, go to Toronto because that's all they wanted was tribute acts and cover bands in there. But if you want to do original music, Vancouver was the place to be.
Yep, West Coast.
You know, okay. And the only reason I didn't was because throughout my last year of high school, I'm watching friends move back every couple of months. I'm like, I was going to stay on your couch for a month. I was going to stay on your couch for a month. So then I didn't.
Yep.
Did I see sneak in here, Trev? John Landino. That's who it was.
John.
John. Nice. And so when you came over, was it strictly trying to get into the music business?
No, I literally came here with the view of just this is where I wanted to live.
Okay.
And I would figure out income.
Sure.
And because the music business was so healthy here, a lot of musicians, so it became very easy just to pick up where I left off with in the UK and set up a workshop and start servicing and repairing guitars.
Right. Because, well, that's the thing for those who don't know. Like, Vancouver is kind of like the LA in that respect. There's always people moving out there, musicians, more per capita, and you need work done.
Yep.
And generally, most music stores had a guy.
Yep.
And they can only do so much work themselves. And
No, and I was the guy for several stores and many big artists. So from that point of view, yeah.
Right on.
Which still is fun. It's my daughter loves it, from the point of view that she can come down here and there might be a member of Nickelback in the basement.
Right.
And then she quickly phones her friends who she knows are, rabid fans of whoever, and they're just leaving. But I thought I'd let you know they were here. So
nice. So I'm curious to myself, ease of setup, right? We have various popular styles of guitars.
Yep.
Do a setup with your eyes closed. What's the easiest guitar to work on, we'll say.
That's a huge list because I
know.
I find them all pretty easy to work on from that point of view. Do I have some that I don't like working on? Yeah, a couple. I'm not a huge
It's okay
fan
to say Rickenbacker. You can say that on.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. I've often said to people, if I win the lottery, and I'm going to have to buy a ticket one of these days to see if it works. But yeah, if I had really seriously deep pockets, I would buy every Rickenbacker I could find in a city, put them all in a dumpster and pour gas on them and ignite it, and make sure there was press there, and do it as a service to humanity.
Well, fortunately, they shoot nitro still, so they will burn well. So there is that.
The thing that gets me is they make some incredible sounding instruments. Even if they make them wrong, they still sound good. Like part of the magic of the Rickenbacker 12 string is they string it backwards.
Right?
Yeah, the octave.
And who sprays all the lacquer on a rosewood fretboard?
Yeah, I mean, Pal Ferro and turn it into a sheet of plastic, basically, But, yeah, so they do it with the octave strings underneath, so they're not getting hit, So it might as well be a 6-string. But the thing that gets me is, like, for years I used to, like, open up a 4001 or a 4003 or whatever, and just as I went to lift the pickguard off, I'd like, okay, is this going to be better? Is this one going to be better? Nope. For decades, all they do, like to get the wiring from the neck pickup to the control cavity, they don't use a router. That's unnecessary. We'll just use a force and a bit, up and down about 15 times till it links.
Swiss cheese.
Yeah. It's like, that's like barely even 12-year-old, high school woodworking quality. Do you know what I mean?
One step above a hammer and a chisel.
Yeah, or a butter knife,
Right.
But, yeah, so... and their attitude as a company, like their customer service, is horrific.
Right.
One of my clients ordered a 36012 in pearl white, like everything he wanted was special order. We're talking 25 years ago. It cost him I don't know how many thousands of dollars back then, and
waiting years.
Oh yeah, and it arrived, and he was thrilled, and then suddenly I noticed he wasn't talking about it anymore. I was like, I haven't heard you mention that, Ricky, and I sure as heck haven't seen you play it on any of your shows. And he's like, oh, I can't play it. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't play it? He's like, I can't play it below the 9th fret. If I go 9th fret or higher, I can play it. But anything below it is just a mess, a jumble. And I'm like, and you haven't brought it in to me. Why? Because I know, I'll bring it in next week. So he brings it in. And the reason why it only works from like the 9th fret up is that whoever fitted the nut cut 12 equally distant strings.
No.
Not 6 pairs, 12 individual strings. So until the notches in the bridge saddles actually pulled them into pairs as you got further up the neck, it was impossible to get 12 strings cleanly,
And how do we even fret chords?
Well, exactly. It was just a mess. So, and I said this thing had like a quality control certificate on it. He was like, oh yeah. Oh, wow. And the other thing was that when it showed up, the big R tailpiece, the pirate one, and it had pits in the finish. So he called them and said, guitar's beautiful, just the tailpiece has got some pitting in the plating. The guy actually said to him, well, I could sell you another one, but it might not be any better. Not, oh, I'm terribly sorry, sir, for you spending thousands of dollars and it's not 100% to your liking. Yeah, I could sell you another one.
Oh, they did do the... Thanks, Jim. I thought Steve was a little quiet. They did the half volume thing because it's StreamYard. There we go. There we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, no, they must be great because you got to wait years to get a Rickenbacker. It's like, no, it's because they will only build so many a year because they refuse to not shoot anything but nitro and assemble it in California, where you can only shoot so many guitars a year with nitro before you've hit your limit for the amount of pollution you can put in the air.
Yep. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
My personal favorite is the light-up models, where literally it was just regular Christmas lights off a daisy chain off a Christmas tree, and they just shoved them inside with the same out, and they just cut the plug off and just wired it.
Yep.
That they're meant for 120. First of all.
Yep.
Well, they
Small
just
detail. Come on.
I wonder why.
Yep. Yep. They are. They're an odd company. I have no problem not supporting them. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, for nightmare issues.
Mm-hmm.
You just want, it makes your head shake when you look at some of the stuff. who designed this?
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, how did this ever make it off the board?
It's like that new quote unquote short scale bass that they've just released. It's no shorter. The scale length is shorter, but the bass is the same length. So if you want to play a short scale bass so that you don't have to reach so far, you're out of luck. They shortened it by moving the bridge up the body.
Yeah, so it has more neck dive.
Yeah, and it just makes the frets closer, but they're still out here like a typical Rick.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they've got all the smart people working there apparently.
I saw a rare Rick in a video the other day. It was a 4001 fretless.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Like that's a very narrow marketplace.
Yep. Yeah, a buddy of mine is a crazy bass collector, and even he has got rid of all his Rickenbackers. Like, he's got all sorts of stuff. And eventually, everything had so many problems. You're just like, I don't want to even have these in the house anymore.
Mm.
Yeah.
The Gretsch short silk, basically, on that, Joe, that's something else entirely.
Mm-hmm.
That halftime, I'm like, is that a bass even? Or is that just you took a jet and put 4 tuning pegs on it and a different nut and bridge?
Yep.
Is that it? Looks like just a guitar scale length.
Yep.
Not even baritone guitar.
Yeah. Well, it's like the little Taylor acoustic bass.
Right?
Is like perfect for guitar players.
Yep.
And it just plays and sounds so damn good. So, yeah.
Hey, my knee's hurt. He says, I sprayed 2 very large stainless steel, I guess, walls with nitro lacquer. It was 4 walls, lots of fumes in the general area. So that would be an elevator interior, I would assume.
Correct.
Oh, my God.
Elevator work.
What's up, Martin?
Yeah, I love the smell of nitro in the elevator.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Your personal opinion, best design trem system.
To do
Is
what?
You play and service. This is the nice thing, right? Because some might play better, but are a bitch to service. But
okay, so what you're saying is, in my opinion, what is the JCM 800 of tremolo systems?
I'm going to say yes as a fellow JCM 800 fanboy. So
Right.
yes.
In terms of locking trems, the Ibanez Edge,
Okay.
because being made by Goto, the typical Japanese approach is look at what everybody else did, figure out what they did wrong, and fix it.
Right.
And that, as a floating Floyd, just kills everything else that's been before and after it. Simple as that.
Not a pro, not a low pro, no low pro 2, or
the low pros are fine because it's basically the same system, just with different geometry on the top end.
Right.
The Edge Pro is a different beast, and it's not as good. And obviously, if you get into the Edge 2s, Edge 3s, they're all just El Cheapo offshore equivalents kind of thing.
Look at you, Floyd Rose specials.
for the lower end. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want to just ever so slightly over tighten something and have something snap, get one of those. But and then as far as like more traditional trims are concerned, I have to say I'm very impressed and a huge fan of the Vega trim.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you want no locking mechanism or anything, but
Drop it into your strap.
Almost the same performance, with really easy installation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's beautifully made and works. As they say, it does what it says on the tin. Yeah.
That's all we can ask for.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like Lee got himself a Marshall Studio Classic, the mini JCM 800.
Mm-hmm.
Loving it. Awesome amp. Nice.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I think I played through one of those. I quite enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had my share of 800s over the years.
It's on my list.
Have you owned one previously or not?
No, I have not. I've played through one on a handful of occasions.
Okay.
But yeah, for someone who could literally, I can't dial in a usable sound on a plexi.
Right.
I can't. I've got a buddy that, fortunately enough, we used his studio space to rehearse in on a couple occasions, and he literally, you go in, he's got a drum kit set up and a full stack on either side of the drum kit, and
Right.
one's got like a 61 Bassman head, and the other one was a 71 Plexi.
Right.
And my buddy's like, "Oh, I played through the Plexi." I'm like, "Knock yourself out, dude." Zero
Pretty
desire.
unfair.
And sure enough, during, and he's playing through it, and it sounds good. So I'm like, well, here, literally grab my guitar, plugged into his pedal board and everything, and it sounded like ass.
Right.
And it's just like, but then I plugged through the Bassman and it sounded great.
Right.
And I'm like, they're not that different, really.
No.
But yeah, but then plugged into an 800, and it's like, oh, bing, 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 and I'm sounding good.
Right.
And I was like, well, why? I don't know. Because I think Jim Marshall took everything that I hate about a Plexi and changed it.
Well, I mean, it's sort of like the 800s are clearly it's the crossing of the best materials and best build quality with the best tone and sort of usability. And the Plexis were capable of sounding phenomenal, but the further back in history you go, the more unreliable they get.
And they're about as consistent as like a 50s Les Paul, which are a great guitar, but you got to play one to find the right one for you, because no two were exactly the same.
Same with vintage Martin acoustics.
Yeah.
You're going to play 10 of them to find one you kind of like.
Right.
And the buddy that you take for amoral support while you're in there is going to like one of the other ones.
Exactly.
Simple as that, And playing it is different than listening to it, and so it goes on.
And that's the weirdest thing, because they could all be lined in a row, all the same spec, and you'll just pick up one. All of a sudden, whoa!
Yep.
Like, was there an amplifier? Like, it seems louder to you, clearer, whatever. Or maybe it's not even a tangible thing you can even describe. You're like, I don't know, this one's just better.
Just
It
vibes.
feels better, sounds better.
Yeah, this one speaks to me. So I mean, and I prefer solid state rectifiers over tube rectifiers. I mean, they're cool, but for practical applications, I don't like the sponginess. But I'm not a bluesy guy, really. You may have noticed.
You have a couple Laneys back there, don't you?
Oh yeah, I got several Laneys in the house.
Laneys are nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my GH50, which has been my main amp for a long time, I bought it in February of '95, and I brought it with me from the UK because at the time there was no Laney distributorship over here.
No,
they were still suffering the backlash from all those bad AOR power transformers. Nobody was. Nobody was importing them into Canada. And the only thing I could find that actually sounded like it was a 50-watt Wizard, and that was a lot more money.
Sure.
So, my GH50, that cost me £350 out the door, brand new. And I still have it. It's killer.
Now, did you have to sort out the 22110?
I called Laney and just said, hey, I'm moving to Canada. I need to change my transformer because it wasn't switchable on those. And they just mailed me a replacement with some pretty simple instructions as to how to put it in. Done.
Sweet.
Plus, I did have the luxury, well, still do kind of have the luxury. I'm very good friends with Martin Kidd, the main designer at Cornford and now Victory.
Okay.
So we both bought Laney GH50Ls at the same time. And then about a week later, we had them on his dining room table while we looked at the circuit, and he considered some mods and that sort of thing. And arguably the first Cornford, the Cornford MK50, which stands for Martin Kidd 50, was a slightly tweaked GH50L, but with two master volumes. Because the one mod we did to ours was he added a volume to the boost, so there's an extra knob lurking on the back panel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hip's asking if you still muck around with your GR55.
It's sitting right here.
I'm going to say yes, Ken.
Within arm's reach, it's a good sign.
Yes. Yep.
I only got
Yeah,
to one lady a few years
I've
ago.
always embraced technology from that point of view. So I've always been into guitar synths and all the digital nonsense.
Mhm.
It's like, well, let's see what you can do with it.
Mhm.
So I had Roland 707s with the big pedal board that came with it. With the 24 pin
Right.
connector and everything. Yeah, you just had to play them accordingly. Don't try and play Eruption with a flute patch because you're not going to hear anything.
Right.
Right.
It's the attack is too slow. So, and that would be the sort of thing you'd hear people say, "Oh, they don't track worth nothing." I was like, "Well, what were you playing?"
Right.
Whereas if
Right.
you're actually doing the solo in, Stairway to Heaven, you can actually use a flute patch for that, and it's good. So, yeah.
Right now.
We got Jason's guitar shed in here. Coots made it. Nice, nice. Good to see you both, gentlemen. I got strings yesterday, Trev. Strings were on sale at Long McQuaid this weekend, so fella's going to restring his Martin for the first time in, dare I say, 6 years.
Now I got to get some strings on my acoustical.
I was horrified by the retail prices recently.
Oh. It just happened. Trev mentioned it. He goes, "The Dario strings are on sale," and I just wait usually till they're on sale and try to buy several sets of the XSs because they are. And the acoustics were down from like 28 to 21 or 22.
Right.
Like almost $10 off. Yeah, they were cheap.
Yeah, so I was like, "All right, now's the time." And I picked up a couple pairs of ordered a couple pairs of electrics because they don't actually carry any of the strings I like in stock
Anymore.
ever in stock.
Well, you used to order a 10-pack and then just have it.
Oh yeah, that was my own. How to stock your own product, Steve? The regional manager for Long McQuaid was one day. He goes, just order in a 10-pack, put them on layaway. I was like,
Right.
Really? So yeah, I did that, but it took the better part of a year to buy them all because they'd last.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, no, now if you order them in, you actually have to pay for them in advance.
Right.
Fuck off. It was really messing with their inventory though.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. No, luckily, I have an account with Diodario, so I can just get them direct. But yeah, I was actually bothering to look at the Long and McQuaid website. I was like, oh my god, really? Is that what a single set of strings is supposed to cost now?
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, back when I was gigging really regularly, I loved the sound of fresh strings. So I was buying my strings 90 sets at a time.
I believe it.
And that would maybe last me 2 to 3 months.
I think I would get maybe 20 hours on a set of strings.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, something fresh that I wanted to do like one rehearsal and then the gig, just so I know they're set in and such. And then after that, rehearsal use until next gig. Because it was always, fresh set just prior to a gig.
Right. I would typically use 3 guitars for a gig. Two with trems, 1 hardtail. The hardtail would do the drop D stuff, what have you. And so I would change the locking trem ones every show. And then the one with drop D I would change typically every second show. And guaranteed, if I thought I could get away with a third show, first song, break a D string. Always a D string. It's the one I always break. Can't remember the last time I broke like a high E or whatever. Yeah.
I have, but half the time it's like, I break them when I'm detuning them to take them off.
Right. Yeah.
Which I never. I know it's a shock to it. Like it's obviously held somewhere and it's a shock and it's a jolt. But you think lessening pressure should cause it not to pull apart.
I think a lot of the time it's that they've been wrapped around a tuning post that maybe has a little bit of a burr or a sharp edge on it. Mm-hmm. And then as it relaxes and moves on that sharp edge, that's when they let go. Yeah. And I have to explain that to my clients. It's like, oh, I'm going to put new strings on it. Well, I just put strings on. Well, okay, I'll try and work around that. But chances are when I take them off, one or two of them will break, and if so, I'm going to replace the whole set.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
That is true.
especially if they're elixirs, they will break.
Especially. Elixirs don't last any longer for me, considering after 10 minutes you can see my exact strum pattern, so they're going to die right there. Which is usually on an acoustic right over the sound hole,
Yep.
where you want to project the sound. So, yeah.
You don't want to project the fluff that's coming off of them?
No. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, he's literally shredding his strings. No,
Yeah.
you can't. I don't strum perpendicular, so.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. It's if you look at the packaging, there's the Gore logo in the top right corner, and Gore is the world's largest manufacturer of dental floss fiber, and that is what they wrap in the crevices between the windings of the wound strings, and then lacquer over it. So that's why they get fuzzy like Christmas tinsel once you really wear through the lacquer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah, I as people ask my thought, I just say they take a really good string, because they buy Diodario strings on bulk is what they do, and I say they take a really good string and ruin it.
Mm.
Yeah. So,
True.
and obviously Diodario, like obviously sort of when they found out what Elixir were doing, was sort of okay, warranty null and void kind of thing. But they obviously sat back and went, well, let's watch this and see if there's a demand. And clearly there was, particularly from manufacturers who knew that they could put a set of strings on and it could hang on a store wall for a year or in a warehouse,
Right.
and it would still sound good when the first person picked it up.
Which
to
makes
play it.
sense.
So, yeah, absolutely.
So, and like, I don't know, if you're like me, like, there's certain guitars, they're there, I play them every few months.
Mm-hmm.
But it does the thing. And I'd like to not have to change strings every time I pick it up.
Yep.
And they are, environment proof or more resistant, we'll say,
Yeah.
to just a guitar sitting on a rack and the strings just die while it's just sitting there.
Yeah. Well, my buddy and I, when we discovered XSs, we were doing an acoustic trio with his girl doing vocals, and he was like, man, I'm killing my strings doing these outdoor shows. And I said, well, I just heard about these. Let's get some. So we got a 3-pack each.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about 18 months later, he's like, hey, when did I buy those strings? And I'm like, oh, over a year ago. He's like, that's what I thought. I said, do you need some more? He goes, no, I'm just about to get the second set on.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And I mean, I've had a set on my carbon fiber guitar, which is the one that I use for outdoor gigs, purely because it doesn't care about humidity or heat or anything. It just doesn't move and sounds decent. Those strings have been on there for 2.5 years.
Mm.
Now, they're not getting constant use, but they don't deteriorate at all. So I know that I can pull that thing out of its case whenever I need it, and it sounds good.
Exactly.
So $25 a set or not, worth every penny.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Eddie says, I noticed the wound strings on a nylon guitar quickly get worn right above the most used frets.
Yep. It's one of those things, like people will wear their frets out because they don't change their strings often enough, so the underside of the strings is corroded and acts like a file. Mm-hmm. And then the other one is where, the alloy of the winding is quite soft, so if you've got slightly rough frets, they will chew through. And you get classicals where they literally have gaps in the winding because the fret is cut through it.
Yeah, I did that. I remember looking at my A string, and I'm looking at it as a chunk of windings just vibrating around as I'm playing. I'm like, I should probably change these.
Yes.
It sounds the same.
Well, the beauty of classical strings is once they stay in tune, it's time to put some new ones on.
Exactly. Matt and I were joking about that. He's like, I got a new set of strings. And it's like, yeah, good luck having them stretching for another year or two. Yeah. It's like, I know.
Well, it's like they say with mandolins. You spend half the time tuning them and the other half playing it out of tune.
Right. That is true.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to tie new strings, and I get that. That's why I cheaped out and cut the ball in nylon strings.
I have a very particular way that I put classical strings on. partly because I know it works, and the second thing is I haven't seen anybody else do the same thing. So from that point of view, I have encountered the odd unscrupulous client every now and then, and they'll say, "You put these strings on and it won't stay in tune," and I can just look at it and go, "No, I didn't." Yeah.
It's not my knot.
Well, I do the knot at the bridge a particular way, and also I do the tuning barrel differently as well. Yeah. So yeah. So I make sure that like I can do my own QC that way. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, obviously, I keep a Excel spreadsheet of everything I do, and every now and then I will have somebody say, "Yeah, you set my guitar up a couple of months ago, and it's acting really, really weird." And like, "Oh, what's your name?" Okay, and when was it? It's like, "Oh, 2 months ago." Like, And I go, "Well, it was last year in February, so yeah, you're probably due for some fresh strings,
Right.
So, and they're like, "There's no way it was that long ago." And then I read them their phone number or whatever, and they go, "Oh, okay." I said, "I have the rectangular brain because this one doesn't remember everything." So,
And especially like say when you get into long-lasting coated strings, like it gets to the point where I'll just run my finger under the string and feel the dents from the frets. I'm like, "Oh, wow, it's been that long." All
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Because it used to be my gauge was when the G string turns black, it's time to replace replace the strings. Because the B and E never usually tarnished as fast, but the G string would just die off. And I'm like, "Well, it's black. All right, time to replace the strings."
I see Eddie Fay is a literalist.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like my doctor told me to take this medicine after a hot bath, but by the time I'd finished drinking the hot bath, I didn't have room.
Indeed.
Speak with water.
Yep.
No questions from the chat really at the moment. Come on, folks.
We must just be telling them everything they need to know.
Right? They're just enthralled. This is
Yeah.
to it.
Yep.
Yeah, grinds to a halt. Really? Wow.
Yeah, engrossed without so much of the N. Yeah.
So when people ask, "What got you into working on guitars?" I'm just like, poorness. I couldn't afford to.
Mine, to be honest, was the typical guy thing of like buying something and wanting to know how it works.
That too. Yeah. I was fortunate enough that the guy that did setups at the local music store didn't take it into a back room where magically you pick it up a couple hours later. He'd do it right there on the counter. And I'm like, "Can I watch?" And he said, "Sure."
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last time I paid for a setup.
Right. And I've had the situation where people will say, can you teach me how to do it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can do that, but it's going to take 2 or 3 times the amount of time that it would normally take me to do a setup. So are you okay with paying for my time?"
Right.
And every now and then I get people go, yeah, like as much time as it takes me to understand what you're telling me, I'll pay for it. It's all right, let's do it.
Sure.
And we book a morning or whatever and get stuck in.
What's up, Tom Lynn? He says some guy got in trouble by giving his wife an Excel of every excuse she gave for a year. He had a lot of headaches. Gary got Dan Erlewine's guitar repair handbook. Nice.
So there was a question for me earlier that just scrolled off. What was it?
I have the complete guitar repair book. Never remember the Japanese gentleman's name.
This one here?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've done a bunch of session work, including weird stuff like for K-pop bands and stuff. But I mean, the one where I actually got credit as opposed to just a paid session guy underling was doing backup vocals and hand claps and stuff on a Satriani album. So if you look at the album Super Colossal, you will find my name in the credits for that. It wasn't guitar playing, but it was still cool.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep.
What's up, Rob Blackmore official? And the B BBT Legit asks, how much to do a neck paint job? Well, it depends on the neck.
Mm-hmm.
What needs to be done?
And is it a bolt-on? Is it set? Well, what are we talking
Currently have a finish on it? Is it currently raw?
Often that question is maple fender necks, right?
And why would you want to paint a neck?
Well, and this is the thing. So I get people bringing me stuff that's got really good natural patina, natural relicking.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the supposed correct way to do a maple fretboard refret is to sand it flat and refinish it. But I always, have a consult with the client and say, look, do you like the way this looks? And often, we know how nutty guitar players are. We are guitar players. It's like, oh yeah, every mark on that tells me what I did. It's a memory. And I'm like, okay, so are you okay with me refretting it, working around that? And keeping that look that it has, its natural wear. And they're like, oh, absolutely. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I often do that.
Cool.
And it takes a little bit of, fussing, but it works out no different to the cost of refinishing it anyway. So, and it keeps it looking more original.
Mm-hmm.
And it adds a mojo, right, Trev? As I accidentally ruined the mojo of a guitar, Steve.
What
First
did
time
you
I
do?
went to California for a NAMM show, I was hanging out with a good friend JJ. JJ's House of Jam. Shout out JJ. And he's let me play all of his guitars
Right.
while I'm there, which was awesome. And he has like an original 80s, I guess it's more pink than red at this point, Charvel,
Mm-hmm.
San Dimas, dual humbucker, Floyd Rose,
Yep.
And that's like his favorite guitar. I was like, okay. But his fretboard made Eddie Van Halen look pristine.
Right.
Like between the wear and the mung factor. Like there's a lot of all the DNA everywhere. And I'm playing it. I was like, geez, like, do I need a tetanus shot? To touch this thing? Like,
Yep.
I was like, why don't you clean this thing once in a while, dude? Like, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of build-up here. And I'm playing it. And I thought, okay, it's pretty good. It was cool. Fine. Moved on. We talked to him about a month later. It was due for a restring, so he decided to clean the fretboard.
Mm-hmm.
Ruin the guitar! He said, it has no soul. No soul. I'm like, oh no. He's
Yep.
like, yeah. Then I got another message about 2 months later. Okay, it's good again. I've been playing the hell out of it.
Finally got it greased up.
Got the
Greased
schmutz
again.
back on it. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Now it's I've got an old Charvel that's on its third neck, and it's now got a maple board. And yeah, it looks gross, but it actually doesn't have any stuff stuck to it. It is just stained, and doesn't affect the playability whatsoever. So I'm quite happy to leave it alone.
Yeah.
What's up, Richard?
But yeah, I mean, I've had guitars brought into me for a setup, and it's like, it's almost fretless by how thick the dirt in between the frets is. And it's like, I don't know whether to set this up or plant potatoes. Like, what am I supposed to do?
It's like getting the gloves out for this one.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the only way to get it off is with a razor blade, kind of thing. It's like, yeah, super gross. And then when I cleaned your fretboard, they're like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, no. That's it.
Not really? You managed to get all that crap off of there? Yeah.
Great.
So. But yeah, I mean, it's this industry is, one of those things where, the internet is a dangerous place.
That's true.
Because the number of like how-to videos I've watched, and I'm like, oh my God, please tell me nobody's taking this seriously.
Right. Including my own folks. I'm just saying, I really should put a disclaimer on mine, but it's okay.
Well, it's like one of my real pet peeves is the luthier's knot.
Oh,
It's like that needs to go away.
yeah. There is literally a microcosm in the world of guitars where tying a string onto a tuning peg is allowed.
Hmm.
dare I say, even recommended. Generally, vintage, first of all, because they have to be, because they're designed to be that way. But you also aren't using friction-based tuners at that point in time.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
It's like a lute or something you made to, But
my oldest guitar that I own is from 1835, and it has just basically like violin pegs. So
Right.
yes, you're tying those on.
Mm-hmm. But you got a 50s Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Well, and I still see people doing it now, and it's like, could you just stop? Like,
it seemed to be popular in the 70s. I know that because I remember buying old guitars when I was in my late teens and 20s type thing, and you would see that, or if your friends, I got a guitar, it's in, Dad's old guitar in the closet. He pulls out, the action's a mile high, and it's got tied on strings.
No, it's I still see guitars with it now, like that are getting regular use, and I will say to them, "Did you put these strings on?" They're like, "Yeah." Okay. Who taught you to do that? Oh, my buddy. He says it's the only way to put strings on. It's like, next time you see your buddy, punch him in the pants.
Yeah, it's not like talk rapping. Les Paul.
No. There be dragons.
Yeah. What's up, Wayne McConnell? Never did say hey to Wayne.
Uh-oh.
Another BC guy.
Yeah.
He says, I thought my 1935s were old.
Yeah.
What's up, Milt?
No.
Oh. That's why I said, when I do the restring on the Martin, it's going to be a short video because it's a 72-28. So
right.
I'm going to pull the strings off. I'm probably going to polish the frets because it's been a few years. Probably clean the fretboard. Put the strings on. Done.
Yeah.
There's no intonation to check and or adjust. No action to adjust. And it doesn't have a truss rod. So,
well, I mean, and I worked for a distributor, national distributor, and as one of their techs, and you would have scenarios where, a box of hang tags would show up, and it's like, yep, we're doing a promotion on Diodario or whatever. So restring everything in the warehouse with Diodario. On your mark, get set, go.
oh,
And and there was two of us, so that was a lot of guitars you had to restring in a day to make it worthwhile. And I mean, like my Floyd Rose restringing video on YouTube from years ago, it's 8 minutes and 35 seconds long, and that's with me talking about it. If I just got on with it, it's much less.
Yeah, I did. I put out a video the other day. Actually, fully unedited. And that even with the fret polish, it was like under half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And me talking and taking my time. But I remember, it used to be well under 10 minutes. If I'm just doing literally just a restring.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think somebody timed me once on an acoustic, and it was just shy of 2 minutes.
Right. Yeah, the only time that adds the time is if the peg decides to go off like a bottle rocket just as you're about to pitch. It's always right just about.
Or some muppet has put a luthier's knot on them.
Or, now it's half an hour.
Yes. Half an hour of curse words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how am I going to get in there to get that undone, marring up anything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or it's like, who's any kind of a string retainer and they don't bother actually pulling the strings through. Like, they just push them through and just gouging out the headstock front with strings going under string retainers. Mm-hmm. It's like, those are screws. You can even remove it, until you put the strings on.
Well, I mean, I typically, you can probably see it on this one. I do my Floyd's backwards. You can see there's ball ends on there still.
Yep, I do that.
And so I just shred them through backwards. It's like I say, I watch so many videos where I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you making this so much harder for yourself? And for the people that are watching, thinking you're telling them, good advice, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So true.
Yeah, I've seen that one
Lee
too.
says they did a paper in college on restraining a guitar with a Floyd Rose for a technical writing class. Nice.
That's cool. One of my buddies back in England.
When I did all the upgrades to my Floyd Rose, where I call it an idiot's guide to rebuilding a Floyd Rose. I'm a Metelli guy, and like ordered all these parts, and like, so to put the brass block, I got to take it all apart down to nothing and put it back together. Okay, that's fine. Do you have one of them Floyd Rose intonation tools? No. I eyeball it. Yeah.
Yeah, I own one of those things. It's still in the box.
Yeah, I don't know. You back off the tension. You back off the little screw. You move the saddle backwards or forwards.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like you're hitting it with a mallet. Like, you can move it.
Yep.
Thousandths of an inch.
Well, and if you need to take tension off, it can do that all by itself. You push the bar. Yeah. So, if you watch my video, God, it's on my old channel called Overdrivin', OVRDRVN, and it's my first bit of advice is like keep the bar in the trem, so you can control it.
Yep.
So yeah, cool.
Saves a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
You still awake out there, everybody? Good. Let's check it.
Yep.
You can see a couple new names in the chat tonight. It's always nice to see fresh faces.
Mm-hmm.
Nice crowd in here. They're spellbound. The chat is ground to a halt.
Right.
Perfect.
Wake up.
Lee cuts the strings. Okay, well, you can cut the strings.
Yeah, I remember seeing something weird about don't cut the string until you've got it up to tune. And I'm like, why? What difference is that going to make?
Well, how does that work if you're doing vintage tuners on a Fender where the end goes down inside?
Exactly. And it's just like, so like I say, I see these things. Like the other one is like, never take all the strings off at once. You'll warp the neck. And I'm like, really? So the neck's sitting on a shelf in Fender's factory until somebody finally bothers to bolt it to
apparently that truss rod does nothing.
Yeah. Or like, like this. I can go from zero tension back to full tension. And did my neck spontaneously combust? No.
Right.
So apparently it's okay to take the strings off.
Obviously, these people that don't ever take all the strings off clearly never clean their fretboards.
Well, and you know what? I think a lot of these old things come from maybe mom and pop stores that are desperately trying to maintain some level of like service clientele. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So they would have these weird things that they would tell customers that didn't know much about guitars.
Yeah, like only a professional should ever touch a truss rod.
Yeah.
Like,
like you should never change your own oil. So I think that's what it was like, make sure you bring it back in. We'll look after you. We'll only charge you this much,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, like a local store, they always, we'll install you strings for free. You just buy them and we'll put them on for free. Yeah, because you charged MSRP for strings. Like they charged $10 for a pack of strings in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Why am I getting inundated with photos from Quentin James?
Aren't you lucky?
Yeah. See, you give him your phone number.
Yeah. It serves you right.
Fair enough, though. He's clearly lurking because he sent a meme to me.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Yep.
All that stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I'll do anything for $50. Oh, can you restring my Floyd?
Chocolate.
Seeing a repair shop said no Floyd Roses and no Rickenbackers.
I welcome the Floyds. I love them. I mean,
yeah. I was like that. I'm like, that, and people are like, oh, he must not be that good a repair. I'm like, no, that's a crusty old repair guy that I want to get to know on a personal basis.
Right.
That sign is there for a reason.
Yeah. Well, my first job out of college was I'm actually a fully ticketed Yamaha motorcycle technician. So, Richard, you got it right. Oh no, there's 2 R's in it. OVRDRVN. But then you got it. Yeah, and there was a sign in the workshop that always said the technician that lends his tools is on vacation this week. You know, because that would be the usual thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just? I'm going to speak in English now. Can I borrow a spanner? You know, and you'd never see it again. Never.
Yeah.
You know. So. But well, there was another question for me. Who were my biggest influences that got me into playing music? Wow. Okay. It would be my first genre of music that grabbed my attention was punk way back in the 70s. Yeah, I mean, it was the guys from the Pistols and the Damned and those sort of bands. They were the first ones that made me go, yeah, I want to do this. And so I guess I'm a bit of an anomaly from the point of view that I like the shreddy thing, but I also have the punk rock attitude that I can't be bothered to learn it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I just do my own thing.
Yeah, I can respect both technique and feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a lot of furniture that is still intact and faces that haven't been punched due to 15 minutes of playing punk rock.
Mm-hmm.
As therapy.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why sometimes you need, I say, a real amp in the room, because there's something about cranking up an amp to pants-shaking volume and playing some power chords and just get that aggression out. Also, play standing up. You always play harder when you play standing up.
Yep. Yeah, very true. Yeah, I remember, first big amps I had were, I had a Sims Watts 100-watt head. You know what they are. And then I got my first Marshalls. I had a 70s, super lead and an 800 master volume. And then I had 3 4x12s in my bedroom. And then one day I was like, what do these sound like on 10? So I plugged it all in my bedroom. And, felt like I was picking blood out of my ears for weeks. Yeah.
Rattled a few windows.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good. And the biggest rig I've ever run was 8 4x12s with 4 500-watt power amps.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pretty loud.
Well, it was outdoors, but it was anywhere I went on that stage, which was 2 18-wheeler flatbeds put together. I had glorious stereo wherever I went. It was wonderful.
I bet.
Yeah. I
highly recommend, folks, like, if you live in a spot where you're not able to crank it up, find a spot.
Yep. Even if it means renting a room somewhere, like in a rehearsal space or something, just go do it once.
Yeah. First thing you'll notice is how you'll be very aware of how good or bad you play, because you hear every little shuffle, every little.
Yep.
But it's so cool.
Yeah, people often ask me, like, should I learn to play on electric or acoustic? And I'm like, well, they're kind of like the flip side of the same coin. With an acoustic, you have to put effort into hearing the notes you want. With an electric, you have to put effort into only hearing the notes you want.
Right.
And they're like, oh, okay, Oh, look out, it's that Boner Jams boy.
Baseman.
Saw Trev buying performance pills at a Sunoco on Friday. Happy December to all the Coombs comrades. Have a great week, everyone. What's up, legend?
Cheers, boner.
Do we have any Sunocos around here?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
We got some Centexes now.
We used to.
Yeah, we do. That's
Not
true.
any
Yeah.
anymore either. We used to have some Sunocos, but I don't know if there is anymore. Huh. Now he's got me thinking about that. I used to work at a Sunoco.
Yeah.
I think I only ever seen them.
All the hot rods came in because they had the 94 octane.
That's the chevrons up here. We can get the good stuff. It's nice in the summertime. All the guys on their bikes and the muscle cars are rolling in.
Arf had a VT head and a 2x15 cab. That's my first amp back in 1980. Came to learn many of those were greenbacks. Have you heard about that VT amps before?
Yeah, Vibration Technologies. Yeah, I had a 4x10 combo. There you go.
I don't know.
That's right, Boner. Steve Brand is the GOAT. Well, just hoping.
Yeah.
Clinton asked, we're getting 2 inches of snow on Tuesday. What should I do? Move.
Yeah, you should have moved a while ago.
Yeah.
You get out.
I mean, there's enough hints where he lives, right? Here, have a tornado. Here, have a UPS plane.
Yeah.
Just get out the way. Yeah. But, what was I going to say?
The VT?
Oh, yeah. Interesting story. I believe the guy that designed them was like super, super fussy about the quality of components that went into them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're actually very, very high end. Like they're beautifully made. But eventually he just couldn't do it, sort of financially viably. So it just faded out, unfortunately. But I believe he then went into building high end like hi-fi.
Oh.
Like your Macintoshes and stuff.
I guess, yeah. So
What about the greenback thing, though?
I don't know about the greenbacks. I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't. I mean, did Celestia make greenback 15s? I don't think they did.
I'm not that much of a speaker nerd to know that. Where's Bent Tom?
Yeah, Google is your friend on this one.
At this point,
I don't recall quote unquote greenback 15s, but I'm sure somebody can prove me wrong. So, but yeah, the VT stuff was kind of cool.
I don't think I've seen any of it myself.
It's usually finished in like a silvery gray Tolex, so like a sort of smooth Marshall Silver Jubilee look.
Okay. So they look like they're from the future.
Well, and the cabinet design was kind of like, how the old trainer cabs had that sort of edge.
Yeah.
Where the sides were flat and everything was inside the sides.
Yeah.
They kind of look like that as well. So
I also had a GBX like that bass amp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the sides came up past the top, so the head would. It's like, wait, you're afraid? Was it good for on a ship? I guess. I don't know.
Oh God, buddy of mine back in England, he had a acoustic 400 bass head, and the thing was so unwell that he got into the habit of, in order to get it to make noise, pushing it off the top of his Fender 2x15 cab. So we would do sound check and it would be working. We'd come back to play the set, dead. And he got mad with it once and just pushed it and it burst into life. So we put it back on the cab and it played the gig just fine. And so that became a regular thing after that. He would just to avoid any issues, just push it off the top of the cab. Worked every time. Yeah.
I don't recommend it, folks, but hey.
But he was a bass player. Like there's nothing recommended about that anyway. So
Yeah. I'll be back in 4 hours and 20 minutes changing strings on a Floyd.
Well, it's funny that he says 4 hours and 20 minutes, and I wonder if he's watched one of my other videos. I talk about the fact that the very first time that I changed strings on a locking trem, I was as much of a newbie as anybody else at the time. I had no idea what was involved, and it was a steep learning curve, and it did, in fact, take me 4 hours and 20 minutes to get it back in tune. But it taught me a lot. Like, it was like, oh, I see, you know.
Spent half an hour looking for the little block that fell out when you turned the guitar over.
That didn't happen on the first one, but yeah. But it was just yeah. And now it's stuff that I just take for granted, having done tens of thousands.
I didn't even know to like block it. Like the first time I did it was I had an Ibanez with a floating Floyd, and like I wouldn't even thought to. So I just backed it out, and I'm like, all right, but I did the strings backward anyways. And then I ended up with like 5-6 turns on the end.
Right.
So, but at that time, it was so bad. Actually, there's Absolute Mayhem. He now owns the guitar. But like the biggest thing was every once in a while the string would either break or pop out of the saddle.
Yep.
And so I would just snip it and then just loosen it off. You know, it's just. That's why you had all the wines on the end, Steve. So you just pull more freshness and clamp her back down.
And eventually the flat spot from where it was under the locking nut initially is now about halfway up the first fret, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Feels great.
Nothing wrong with that. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Right. It's all mangled.
Yep.
I only notice it when I play F chords. What?
Nobody plays those.
Is that the noise he says? Yes. The wedding suit guitar? Well, I don't know if it's a wedding suit guitar. It's blue. Blue? Yeah, I think it's super dark. EX350.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of those guitars, how I knew Karma was real, because I thought, everybody needs like a shredder type guitar in the collection, and it was mid-90s. I was working at the Sunoco station, ironically enough. And
well, I was just about to say, if it was an EX350, it was probably 95, 96.
Yeah, it was actually, it's like one of the first years. It was a buddy of mine in high school, and it just happened. I was working at the gas station one day, and he pulled in to get some gas, and I hadn't seen him in years. I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? And he lived hours away. He goes, oh, I'm in town visiting my parents. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, you playing at all? He said, no, I haven't played since high school. I still got the guitar? He said, yeah, it's at my parents' house in my old bedroom. Oh, yeah? Want to get rid of it? Sure. Named a price. Got my tax refund that day, Steve. It was within $5 of what he asked for the guitar. I'm like, perfect. Meant to be.
Yeah.
Meant to be.
Yeah, like I say, that's
cool. He drove 10 minutes home to his parents' house, came back, artichoke case, boom, just like I remember it in high school.
Fantastic.
Complete with a Boss sticker on the case and a Dean Markley sticker.
So the Boss sticker would have been one of the foil ones?
The foil ones, yeah.
There you go. Oh, God, what Dean Markley stickers were out then? Was that the black with the yellow?
The black and yellow that looked the exact same as the pack. It was just the sticker was the front of the pack, basically.
Yep. Yeah, shit. Do you remember when Diodario were doing the sticker thing as well? And they did the cloth ones?
I had the cloth one, and I put it on a satin tour jacket to make it look even more official looking and fancy. I had a Guns N' Roses satin jacket. They snagged at a flea market. You can see River Docks. Yeah, I do remember that. As I could only get Dean Markley, D'Addario, or GHS. They didn't have Ernie Balls at the local store.
Right.
And at first I used GHS because that's what my dad used, and then I switched and then stopped breaking strings.
Right.
Which now I can't even put a set on a guitar without breaking a string. Figure that out. Which was proved. His Unfuckbelievable sent me a pack of boomers as a joke. And I said, you watch.
Right.
And sure enough, didn't even get it up to pitch. Snapped the high E string. I'm like, on a guitar that never breaks strings.
Right.
And then I'm looking around everywhere, and I had 4 old packs of boomers, probably since the 90s.
Right.
Not one of which had a high E string in them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the string industry has some weird hype, like SIT strings,
right?
stands for Stay in Tune. And if you read the pack, it's the comprehensive guide of just how to put strings on. And they basically say, if you follow these instructions, these strings will stay in tune. Like they're special. And it's like, well, if you do that on any set of strings, they should stay in tune. That's the proper way to put them on.
Right.
And interestingly enough, no luthiers not mentioned. Marvelous.
Right. Yeah. Zero mention.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly the other most useless thing in the guitar world is the luthier's knot. Other than volutes on necks.
I don't mind volutes.
I figure it's the most absurd hill to die on, Steve.
Yep.
I refuse to play a guitar with a volute.
I'm pretty sure I have guitars with volutes.
I have one, but it was a gift.
Yeah, I got one right here. There you go. but do I hate it? No. Do I love it? Also, no. I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, it's.
Anyone that is a fan, I'll say it serves no purpose. Well, it prevents headstock breaks. Really? Because a '70s Les Paul never broke a headstock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So clearly they don't work.
No, not in that sense. But they do look pretty on the right guitar. But
I just see it as a goiter hanging out like the side of someone's neck.
I would
not a nice sexy curve. It's a goiter.
Personally, I would just like to see Gibson start using scarf joints and just be done with it.
Right. It's okay. High-end guitar has been doing it for years.
That Les Paul right there is one that I built from a kit, and I built that neck with a scarf joint. Just to be one of those things that nobody could ever now pass that off as a real Gibson, because it's got a Gibson head plate on it and everything, and an inked on 59 number and all the bullshit. So I went for it, but but I thought I'm gonna do something that there's no way that anybody can be fooled by this guitar. There's no way it can be an original Gibson. So I put the scarf joint in it.
There you go.
Yeah, they'll do it for Epiphone, but they won't do it for...
Mind you, Epiphones have got more authentic now. Just ask Blue Morks. The headstocks come off of those now.
Really?
Yeah.
Whereas, I'm shocked. I never broke the headstock off. The last Epiphone Les Paul I still have. Because, idiot me, we would rehearse in my buddy's basement, and he had a ceiling fan, and I insisted on standing under it. And every time, well, it's break time, Steve. Okay, poof, and I'd stop that fan with that headstock. Damn near. There's multiple. You can see the perfect. That's the width of a blade of a ceiling fan.
Yeah.
All over it, and.
Oh God! One of my students back in England, he phoned me like almost tearful. He said, I need you to put the headstock back on my guitar. And I'm like, okay. Which guitar? And he said, my Ibanez USA Custom. I'm like, oh God, dude, what happened? He goes, I'm upset not because of the guitar, because I know you can fix it, but because I took the headstock off on the top of my parents' TV and the TV's dead. And I'm like, oh dear. He decided to do a strap spin.
Oh. In
his parents' living room.
Oh.
Didn't
reliving
make sure.
your youth, are you, Blue Mox? Like, that's an outdoor activity.
Yep, it's certainly not one to do in the living room if you're nice.
With parents, like,
yeah.
I'm curious. What's the backstory there? Why? And why do it with that guitar? That's what Fireflies are made for.
Well, because he was smart. He had the DiMaggio clip lock strap that I had recommended to him and everything. He's like, I'm going to try this. This is going to be good. And it was an older house. It had reasonably high ceilings and everything. He's like, I'm safe. I'm safe. He didn't think about where is the furniture near me kind of thing.
Proximity.
And, and we're talking obviously in the 90s. This is before flat screen. So this is a nice big wooden cabinet, big color TV.
Okay, I thought this just happened recently.
Oh no, we're talking early 90s.
Okay, that's why I'm like, what?
Yep. Yep, and he cut a big chunk out of the top of his parents' TV with the headstock of his guitar. So yeah,
Did
I
you
happily.
fix that too?
No, I fixed the guitar, and I don't know what happened. I mean, he's still alive, so I guess it couldn't have been that bad, you know. But yeah.
His first
Yeah.
Les Paul
Oops.
put up with a broken headstock. Yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, they actually call them Epiphone Authentic now, don't they? I think, and that's proof right there.
Blue Mox Epiphone. Was that his wino? Didn't he have a Jerry Cantrell?
Yeah, what?
Was it the first one of those? Was it the Wino?
Yeah.
Yeah. The first one showed up with a tremolo
Well,
headstock.
Rich, my best friend Rich, he broke the headstock off his Epiphone 335 twice.
Right.
Oh.
Twice. First time, his strap literally broke.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and it was the most weird thing because his guitar strap was made out of like an old belt. As our old bass player Larry would go to thrift stores, buy belts, and then make guitar straps out of them. Like, okay, cool. But it was so old, the leather just decided to give up the ghost, just rip, and just sheared, which bing broke the headstock. I'm like,
yeah.
okay. And then the second time was he fell asleep on a couch holding the guitar, and it slipped out onto a carpeted floor, like not a long fall, but fell in just the right way to snap it again. He goes, but it broke after my repair, so my repair held. I'm like, nice.
Yep. I've got one client with a V that I have put the headstock back on 7 times, and they're all different cracks. So yeah, you look at it up close, it looks like lacquer crazing, but it's all the different joints.
Right. Hey, Jason.
No.
See Gear Junkie in here. Just a reminder, folks, we'll be back tomorrow night with Canucks with guitars, play some music. Right, give away some memberships because it's a new month.
Oh, yeah.
I think we got some bad album covers to show off. I'm getting low on that. I got to get some more. And then I already got a couple demos in the works, except for the Martin demo. I don't get, revenue sharing because I got demonetized on that one. Apparently, you don't play any bit of Wish You Were Here on a fucking demo.
Nope.
That's a no-no.
It's like playing anything by the Eagles. That's also a no-no. It's there's just a few out there that it's real. They're hot on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even. I'm like, wow. I was like, I didn't even play that much, let alone that well. Hey, Michael B with the super sticker. Mm-hmm. Yes, Michael Kraus, memberships. You're not getting one. Don't worry. The man never wins a membership. Appreciate that, Michael B. Goes towards the string fund because I didn't have it in the budget to buy strings, but then the sale. So a fella dipped into his grocery fund, so the money was the strings. Just, I'm like, I'll eat ramen noodles, but I'll have fresh strings.
Yep. No cheddar cheese this month.
I don't know Eddie Faye. I don't know Warren Zevon's My Shit's Fucked Up. I know the song, but I don't know how to play it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I play a lot of riffs by a lot of bands, and nobody. It's the first time I've had a problem with a demo. Usually, I got to play the song for a good minute or so.
Yep.
But I didn't think I played that much of it, but apparently I did. It's an acoustic. The whole demo is only like 5 minutes. So
Right.
It includes me talking.
Yep.
I even did the Beato. I'm like, I'm going to dispute this. And they're like, denied. It's like, damn.
You don't have a lawyer.
Well,
yeah, Pink Floyd has lawyers. That's the difference. I know they.
Right. I mean, it was like when I had that weird thing of, I posted one of my, I think I told you, one of my original instrumentals, and I got a copyright strike for In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. I'm like, this is a 2-handed guitar tapping piece. There's no drum break, nothing. Like, how the hell? I still had to wait the 30 days for it to go away because, it's like it was down to the person who filed the claim to to reply to my reply, kind of thing. And or they could let it expire. So for 30 days, it was just hanging there in limbo. And I was like, this is so strange.
Funniest is because I'll get nailed. That's one of the reasons I demonetized my live streams, like the Sunday and Monday shows, was so I could do what I want, play what I want, and not get dinged. I played, what was it? Collective Soul Shine. Collective Soul didn't come after me. Another band who did a cover, because I play it harder and heavier, and I did a really heavy version of it.
You're ripping off our ripoff.
And they're like, yeah, and I checked out their version, and they play a fucking heavy, fast version. I'm like, okay,
right.
like they do a real metal-fied version of it.
Yep.
And I was like, touche algorithm in a way,
yes, right?
Like, yeah, you don't sound like this, but you sound like this. And I was like, I do kind of sound like that.
And I'm okay with it.
Yep. Other than that, Tom Cochran hasn't come after me lately.
Yeah.
Not lately?
Lunatic Fringe?
He used to, every time I do Lunatic Fringe, he'd get pissy about it. And the funny part is, Trev, I can print it out and knock on his fucking door because I know where he lives. So, like, hey, stop fucking going after me. I'm promoting your shit, you old man.
Yep. Yeah, and it's weird because all that sort of stuff should come under the fair use thing, right?
Exactly.
If you're analyzing it or promoting it or whatever, it's you're not trying to claim it's yours or anything like that.
It's playing a full backing track. It's me
right.
playing a shitty fucking verse, chorus, verse maybe before moving on to something else.
Yep.
Piss off.
It's weird.
On the other hand, Greg Godovich from Goddo Band loved the fact I used Sweet Thing in all my phaser demos.
Right.
And I told him, I was like, really? He's like, you play my music in your demos? I'm like, yes. I'm like, it is kind of phaser heavy. He goes, I admit, the phaser was prominent in the mix. Right? So, when I got a demo of phaser, Oz plays Sweet Thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, nobody's going to demo a DD3 without playing, Welcome to the Jungle, right? So.
Right. Soon AI bots will be fighting strikes against AI videos, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Doing the Beato would mean makes 30 videos complaining about it. Well, I could do that. But
yeah. But the man has a point,
He does, especially in his what makes a hit a hit. He's literally telling, first of all, if you're not familiar with the band and the song, this is a hit, folks.
Yeah. It's free promo for them, and yet they're trying to shut him down. It's very strange.
Right? Or when he's literally playing the song back to the artist.
Mm-hmm. And discussing it. Yeah.
Yeah. I got dinged on that recently from Star Zero because we played one of their songs from the upcoming album, but I was interviewing JJ, their guitar player and songwriter at the time. And I put in that request and they let it go. And it wasn't even the band. It was like CD Baby or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Your distribution.
Yeah. Which, I mean, in one way is like, okay, they're protecting their artists. And then if they have a reasonable response to you saying, well, hang on a second, I was interviewing a member of the band, they were okay with it.
Yeah, exactly. Which tells me I still have some faith that there's a human out there looking at those things. And that's fine. Or the funniest was when we showed, what was it, the music video? Yeah, it was the music video, Trev, for Aaron's band, Albus. We premiered it here, and he had put it, and he did swear that he actually put it as a premiere at the same time on their channel. But it was like a few days later, boom. I was like, oh, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, this band is ripping off your material. I'm like, what? And they look, I'm like, no, you got it backwards. If anything, I'm ripping them off. They're like, no. They're like, do you allow them the use of this video? I'm like, yes. Yes, I do. It's theirs.
Because it's theirs.
Crazy. So these aren't the droids you're looking for. Exactly.
Mm-mm.
Well, now, see, Michael Chris is just trolling me. Did you see the Death by Audio stereo phaser? Yeah, I'm sure I did.
So what's your latest and greatest in stomp boxes? What have you got?
Well, I have one sitting on pre-order that I'm waiting on. But other than that, it's been a minute since I bought a stomp box. I'm just trying to think.
The newest one I've got was the one I won from you, Steve.
Right.
I got.
I'm sorry, I put it in the circuit.
Walkman when it came out. Thank you again, Chris. It's cool. It's noisy, but so was the original. So it's authentic in that respect. Does the thing. But yeah, actually, what I am looking forward to is from Lawrence Petros is his Super Node, which is a double pedal. It's got his 74 on one side, so master volume Marshall, with a Nobles on the other side that you can use as a boost into it. And I went, well, I have the Keeley version of the Nobles on the board, which I love.
Right.
But I've been meaning to get a Marshall and box back on my board as well. So that kills two birds, and boom. I was like, all right. And he's like, it's a limited run. I'm like, you're putting one aside for me, and it's going to be a few months because I have reviews. And he went, whatever. I'm like, okay.
Now, is there anything out there like in the classic or vintage line? I mean, that would be like your holy grail.
All the name brand pedals, like, because I have a lot of clones of stuff. Like,
right.
I'd like an actual Timmy. I'd like an actual Klon. I'd like, an actual old Nobles. But other than that, the one I got to really research on is I want a stereo in, stereo out chorus pedal.
Okay.
Because I have a stereo chorus now that I run into a Dimension C stereo in, stereo out. So because that whole Dan Huff thing is a chorus and a detune together, but the problem is he's running his chorus post detune, which means now I need a stereo in, stereo out chorus to go into the Dimension.
You need one.
They just, Behringer just cranks those out.
Yep.
No, so it's like, fuck.
Yep.
So I'm like, I know I'm spending, like, if I got to buy new, it's probably going to be like an Empress, and it's going to cost me $600, but it's going to be a beautiful, lush chorus. And
the other way to go, though, I mean, is that a lot of rack gear is still out of favor.
I do, like
and
that.
There are phenomenal rack multi effects out there for dirt cheap, less than the price of an overdrive.
That is true.
And if you want stereo in, stereo out,
Well, and that's what I kind of did with this board was the back half, once I split out the stereo chorus, is rack effects on the board because it's stereo in, stereo out detune into the halo, that's stereo in, stereo out delay, into a stereo in, stereo out reverb because you have to, which is, of course, plate and big because 80s.
Yeah.
We can. So, but yeah, it's
because Dan Huff has told us what he used. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can see doing an 11 space rack at some point because why not?
Well, I still have, it's about 5'6" with the casters on it, rack, hiding down here, and it's not the only rack I have. So yeah, but that stuff is so cool. I just do not want to get rid of it.
What's up, 100 TJL? The Juliana, yeah. Isn't that Walrus makes that? Or is it Earthquaker? It's one of those Ohio-based.
It's in Lyrock or something?
It says Lyrock, but I thought the original Juliana's. There's the Julietta and the Juliana, and one's the mono, and one's the stereo. But I don't know if it's stereo in. I know it's stereo out.
Right.
I'll have to look up the Lyrock. Yeah.
Am I Ben's Secret Santa? No. That's a real quick answer on that one.
Thanks, Daddy.
I was not fishing for gift ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew it was an Ohio-based company.
Right.
So that's usually, when I go into Long McQuaid and they got a new guy in there, I'm like, what do you play? He's like, guitar. I'm like, okay. Are you into pedals? Yeah. I'm like, really? Are you? Or do you just have like 4 Boss pedals or something? What? Like, are you into pedal? So, and I would say, like, what's your favorite phaser? Like, oh, and a Phase 90 is a fine answer.
Yep.
But it's I like the blah 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 blah. Ooh, look at you. It's
Yeah.
like, all right. And it'd be and I asked favorite chorus pedal, and the guy said the Julia, and I went, nice, okay. He says, so going forward, when I walk in, he says, can I help you? I'm like, yes, because usually my answer is no, because I know more than you.
Yep.
But
Yep.
yeah, the Julia and the Juliana, that's what it was. Thank you, Michael Krause. Can't believe I'm thanking Michael Krause. That feels weird.
It's a dark day, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels weird. I don't know how I feel about that at all.
Yeah. It's like
Folks,
when I
we're
had
gonna go a little while longer.
I had to actually ask Q for technical advice with StreamYard once. It just felt wrong.
Right.
Yeah. He mocked me for several days.
There's probably a post on Facebook about it.
There's probably a video on Facebook about it. Yeah.
Now, I have also commissioned a custom build from LPD Pedals as well. Of a
Okay.
pedal he's never done before. But I'm not expecting that until mid next year.
Hoping
See
for your
how to
birthday.
design it and then test it and build it.
Right.
I said, "How are you above doing commissioning for a one-off pedal?" He says, "No, it'll cost you." I say, I don't care because it's partially out of spite. So, and I'll pay for the spite, Trev.
Yeah.
Hey, there's John Shane
There's Jono.
from an app.
Yeah. But
Actually, the staff around here, Rob, are pretty good. I will say. Most are guitar players except for the lesson coordinator, and he's a tuba player by trade. So
right.
it's like, okay,
That could be fun.
right on.
Do the A&W song. Come on.
I should ask him to do that.
Who's Blue Moss asking about the Ampero? Did John buy an Ampero? Or is he asking me? Because I've been using Amperos for as long as anybody's known me. So I love them.
Remind me what an Ampero is.
Made by Hotone, Hot One, whichever one you want to pronounce it.
Okay.
It's like a Helix,
Okay.
Rush,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it rang a bell. I just couldn't figure it out. Yeah.
All those annoying guitar noises I make is through one of those. Well, the annoying ones I make on here. Yeah.
I get it. Which is a whole new thing. And I'll be honest. If you haven't already, check out GTU Guitar Talk Universe. Steve and Quentin fucking James. The first time I heard the two of you were partnering up to do a show, I went, "What?" I'm like, "Okay," but it made sense to me, knowing both of your backgrounds and stuff. So I thought this could be good, and it is. I like it. Dare I say, it's a quasi. I'm going to say halfway between your Sunday night or Saturday night show and a Rick Beato live stream where it'd be very informative, like pure theory. We're going to talk about this, but it's both in a hybrid. It's enjoyable and educational.
Edutainment.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's this weird sort of guitar centric Abbott and Costello thing we have going.
Yeah, it really works. And I learned stuff, and we finally got Quentin using a somewhat usable tone. I'll never actually say he has a good tone.
Well, whether you like his tone or not, it's definitely better than some of the other people who are, making regular appearances on YouTube on their own guitar channels. It's like I'm always amazed at how even some relatively big names have terrible audio and video on their lives.
And you're like, Do you not listen to your playback?
Well, or do you not have somebody who can help you with this? It's like, it's very strange,
It is. It is.
Yep. So yeah,
No,
yes,
I
he may
can't-
not have the biggest dollar rig on the YouTubes, but
No.
for what he's got, he gets great results. I think.
Anything's better than the RP360.
Oh, the poor
Well, then
RP360.
if anything, what I've noticed over the course of you guys doing your show is that his playing has gotten a lot better. He doesn't stick to the same old riffs that he used to do all the time. He's gotten
I would say his playing got more robust.
interest.
Yes.
So I'd say you're definitely, not to be rubbing off on him.
Ew.
Everybody shifts.
And he's on the other side of the continent. Jesus. It's yeah, I think it's just the fact that he's getting to play more.
Yeah.
That and plus, I don't always let him get off easy with the choice of backing track.
Right. Yeah. No, it's not just another minor pentatonic.
Yeah, no more Pentecostal scales for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm not there. Then again, I only just learned how to play lead guitar from about the time I started my YouTube channel. I was strictly a rhythm player for decades.
Right.
It just happened that I was doing a lot of woodshedding and got very lucky.
Yeah. Key to great tone is a 1K pot. It was in 1972. Not anymore. Well, it depends if you're putting the 1K pot on the tone or on the volume. That's the big difference.
No, is he saying 1K or does he mean a 1 meg pot?
I think he means 1 meg, yeah.
Well, so do I, but it's Michael Krause, so.
So he may just be wrong?
Yeah. I'm so getting banned the next time I'm in 60 Cycle Hums chat. See you, Arf.
Yeah, Q's keyboard is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like I say, my wall changes color too.
Mm-hmm.
Mine could, but I'm too lazy.
Mm-hmm.
So all the way over there.
Yeah. No, I just set it to cycle at its own, whatever it wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
When I stuck the LEDs up, I haven't touched it since. So it just does its thing. But I do charge for it. Unlike Q, his keyboard's free, but that costs. People don't realize that. I'm just, hacking their bank accounts.
You're not going to lose your troll badge. You'll always troll me, Mike. We know that. It's my line every time I go into 60 cycle chat. It's just like, I'm just here to not get banned by Michael Krause. Or try not to.
So what are the sort of things that you say that get him triggered and banning you?
Oh, no. Membership? That's a trigger word. He triggers me more. But it's like he knows... there's a misconception. A lot of people think I hate Dane Electro guitars. I don't hate them, Steve.
Right.
I hate the fact a new one costs $1,000 in Canada when it shouldn't be more than $249.
Well, yeah, anything made out of Formica should not be expensive.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, and especially in the fact that the vintage ones are worth any money, when you look at it, it's all fixed saddle bridges that you can't even intonate, and they put it in the wrong spot at the factory, so it'll never play in tune. But he'll be like, Snag Dane Electro. I'm like, okay, whatever. He goes, yeah, $75. You're like, well, fuck. I'd be buying at that price.
Yep.
Then I'm stuck owning a Dane Electro. Yes, but.
Well, I mean, and let's face it, that beautiful trim that they put around the outside, the duct tape.
Right.
That costs money, Ben.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, tape and Formica.
Yeah. And some punky poplar in the middle. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the vintage ones that would have just a cast aluminum saddle like that looks almost like a badass bridge from a bass, except you realize, wait, they just curled up the end to make the saddles, and there's no way to intonate this. And then you measure it, and they installed it an 1/8 inch off. Not only distance wide, but off center probably as well, because the string
hang on, they're
hanging over one side.
Come on, they're in good company. Martin did that in the 70s.
Great.
You know, the number of Martin acoustics that I've had to make custom bridges for in order to get the intonation in the right spot, because the saddle slot is more than 1/8 of an inch further back than it should be.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That shit is barely duct tape.
That's true. That's true. So there was a question here. What made me pick up the 6-string, and what was the motivation? Like I said, punk rock. That was it. The energy of bands like the Damned, the Sex Pistols, the Dickies. Yeah. But I was also at the same time hugely into like ELO. So, yeah, I had sort of both ends of the spectrum kind of covered. But, yeah. And then,
FM radio, basically.
Yeah. And then what totally sold me was I went to see Bernie Torme and his Electric Gypsies just after he quit the Gillan Band. And it was just mind-blowing and loud. And it was like, yeah, I want to do this. Because he was kind of, you know, monster player, but a punk rocker kind of thing.
Sure.
So, 2 seconds.
The chat is frozen in time again. It's okay.
46 watts.
Oops. We appreciate each and every one of you that tuned in, even if your name's Michael Krause. Please hit that like. Helps a fellow out.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
My daughter is she works in the movie business, and she's got her first like road trip for a movie. So so she's like, I need help packing. I don't know what to take. So I was like, okay, all right, give me a while.
She's going to Calgary to shoot.
No, she's only going over to Vancouver Island, but yeah, she's like, because she's an animal trainer, so it's like it's this weird mix of indoor and outdoor shooting. So I think it's a Dennis Quaid movie she's working on.
Ooh. Michael Krause says, favorite overlooked punk band for me is probably Wire.
Yeah,
I'll go with the Skids.
Overlooked. What's your definition of overlooked? Like didn't chart, or just nobody knows they exist?
Yes.
Right. kind of mutually inclusive, that statement, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I would say over here, the band that more North Americans need to listen to is the Ruts.
Okay.
Yeah. Or Ruts DC, as they became after the original singer died. But yeah, their track Babylon's Burning, that is a veritable barn burner of just good guitar riffs kind of thing. So
I don't know if I saw the first part of Keith's statement, who he's referring to.
I don't know. Yeah, the Dead Boys are cool.
What's up, Jeff K?
Yeah, 999 were all right. And I like the UK subs. And funnily enough, the bands that I didn't like so much were bands like The Clash, because they were just...
Early Clash I didn't mind, but after the fact, like as an adult, the fact that Joe Strummer is a bit of a poser, in my opinion. Really?
Well, and it was the posturing in terms of like the overtly political nature of everything. I much preferred bands like the Damned, who were clearly having fun and could play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the Clash, damn right they had some really good songs, but overall, did I actually go out and spend my money on their albums? No. You know, a couple of singles like Tommy Gun was good, and you know, London's Calling, that sort of thing. But I didn't want to listen to a whole album of it. So,
If I hear Rock the Casbah one more time,
what age did I take in the theory? I have a very mathematical mind, and music is mathematics. So, a bit like the guitar servicing thing. Like as soon as I played a guitar, I wanted to know how it works, so I started taking them apart. So, it's the same with the music. I wanted to know why certain things went together. Like why did this Hendrix song work like this, whereas you know somebody else could take that same chord progression and make it do something else. So it just the nuts and bolts of stuff has always intrigued me. So I actually studied the music theory at the Associated Board of the Royal School of Music.
ooh, fancy.
Yes,
Fancy.
much more gooder. So, yeah.
Right on.
Well, considering Charlie Harper from the UK subs is well into his 70s, pretty good apparently.
Right. Yeah, the key is clearly, if you look at the Ramones as an example, you can't stop playing. Because the Ramones played and toured for decades, and as soon as they came off the road, they all died! Like,
Yep.
within a year or two. It was very freaky.
Yep. Yeah, it's like that's what was keeping them going.
Yep.
And it's weird because if you think about it, a couple of generations ago, that's what, you know, the men of our families used to do. They'd work until they were 65, they'd retire and die at 66.
Yep.
You know,
True that.
yeah.
Yeah, so for every that died young, there's guys still out there going.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was deeply concerned when I heard that Keith Richards had stopped drinking. Because I thought, pretty sure that's what's been keeping him going.
Well, at first it was he just stopped drinking on stage. Like he started doing sober shows. Because, as he said, I wanted to see what that's like. And that was when he was 78.
Right.
You know, I was just like, wow! All right.
Yep.
Well, and then, because then it was like, I'll still have maybe some wine with dinner and stuff. But I'm not getting half sloshed before going on stage. I was like, you think?
Yep.
And Ronnie Wood's like, you mean I don't have to carry the band now?
Well, it's not like Ronnie Wood was super well behaved. I mean, one of the greatest quotes from him is that Keith pulled the gun on him twice to get him to calm down. And he said, if you're too much for Keith Richards, you've probably got a problem.
Right. Yeah.
And then, of course,
I do, because they are two of my faves. The friendship. When Ronnie started doing his first solo album, his wife was out at a club. Keith saw her at a club. He goes, hey, where's Ronnie? Oh, he's back at the house, working on a solo album. Oh, well, this isn't really happening. Let's go back there. I'll see if he needs a hand. He left 3 months later. he just stayed. And,
Yep.
Yeah. But they got an album done.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was cool. But he left 3 months later. It's like, wow.
What's the point getting a 1975 Yamaha Virago? Well, they didn't have Viragos in 1975, so that trick question ain't going to get me.
Right. It wasn't until the 80s.
Right? I turned one of the 750s into a trike just for fun.
Yeah, glad Michael Thompson's playing with a guy at 82.
There you go.
They're out playing. Even doing like actual tours. I remember he was doing that in the summer.
Well, it's like that. I've seen that cartoon a couple of times recently where the old dudes with the walking frames and everything are coming up to a club. And aren't you guys a little old to be coming to see a band? And go, we are the band.
Yeah, just remember, all the favorite bands that you still want to see that are out gigging, remember, you were a kid when you became a fan, and they were already grown adults. So.
Yep. I'm pretty sure there's a cure for everything, and it's inside Keith Richards, I think is fairly safe to assume.
This is true. I honestly don't know how he's still going.
I'm sure every time somebody passes away, he thinks, wow, that's another one I've outlived.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, for the most part, like, that whole band is still around. That's the scare part. And they're, like, one of the first, and they're all still around. Like, let's see. Jeff always said a Floyd guitar was a younger man's game. Guess who bought a SoCal last week? Changed the pickguard today. Now he needs a restring. Take it in or go for it as a first-timer. Go for it, Jeff.
Go for it. Get on
Because if you
YouTube.
muck it up, you can always take it in as a backup. And you might get scolded a bit, but...
Or mocked. Either or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone seen Jackson Brown lately? I have. But he's still alive.
You know, have you noticed how a lot of the classic rockers have turned into some of the cutest grandmas?
Right?
Right? You know.
This is true.
You know. Steven Tyler looks like, you know, we all had that friend that had a grandma that would let you get away with anything.
Yeah.
And that's what Steven Tyler looks like. He looks like the grandma that would just let you do whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
Give me vodka. You could get some smokes off her.
Yep, exactly.
Well, it doesn't help that he dresses like Mrs. Roper, for fuck's sake.
Just don't look at his feet. That's the big thing.
Don't. Yeah.
How did that even happen?
Wish me luck. Got my toes across. Yeah, George Lynch is 71.
Yeah.
And pretty hilarious.
Well, those blocks for a Floyd are $2 each, so if you lose them, they're readily replaced.
Oh, the inserts?
Yeah. The string lock blocks.
Right. I have titanium ones because I was told I should get titanium ones.
Don't.
Mm-hmm. Well, a buddy of mine back in England, you know, when we're back into the late 80s, early 90s, he had a Charvel Model 2 that he dearly loved. And he spent so much money on new saddles for that thing because he was also a bus mechanic. So he was used to using, you know, snap-on tools with like 4-foot breaker bars on them.
Yeah.
So he said, like, why does this keep happening? Well, I'm always stripping threads and cracking saddles. And I said, because you don't understand what thumb pressure means. And he's like, well, what do you mean by that? So I said, like, just push it. Just push it until it just nips up. And he'd go, oh, yeah. And snap another one. It's like, dude. Yeah, he just worked with the idea of, like, do it up until it snaps and back it off half a turn.
Yeah. Back it off to inch pounds instead of foot pounds.
Yeah. And, crazy. Like, we're talking, like, say, a long time ago when it didn't cost $25 to just buy one Floyd Rose saddle. And he still spent a fortune keeping that Charvel going. He's the friend and client who came up with the one line that almost had me wetting my pants laughing. So it's time to retire the Charvel. He wants to be he wants to be Billy Duffy. So he wants a black standard so he can stand there, you know, with one arm up in the air and play power chords. And so he orders this is like 1990, so he orders a black standard from my store, and he comes back a week later and says, like, the guitar's beautiful, but it won't stay in tune. And I'm like, what do you mean? He says, well, like, I tune it on my tuner and it's perfect. And then I play it and it's awful. So I said, all right, let's have a look. Let's, you know, obviously you have a warranty for a reason. Let's have a look. So he gets it out the case. We check the tuning. I said, all right, play it for me. And he frets a 4-finger G chord, and it is skroink. And I'm like, okay, hand it here. So I play the same 4-finger G chord. Perfect. Hand it back to him. Skroink. And I'm like, okay, stop trying to push the strings through the back of the neck. You know, you've got nice, fresh, big frets and a slightly shorter scale length to what you're used to. So he literally skroink, and then he relaxes and it goes into tune.
Yeah.
And he stopped and he looked sort of at the ground between his feet for a second, and he looked up at me and he said, are you telling me that the warranty doesn't cover lack of talent? And I was like, I lost it. I could barely breathe for about 20 minutes. It was
Right?
unbelievably funny because he was so sincere, so deadpan when he said it. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, he got me.
I get it since I first started until I got my own guitar. I used my dad's '67 Telly that had no fret height, so I'm that guy too because that's what you had to do to get it to ring clean. Was
Yeah, strangle it.
as his trick is, and Trev's seen me do it. It's like play a bar chord and then hold the guitar while the bar chord's ringing out because the grip can't play jumbo frets to save my life, Steve.
Right.
And and it really sucks how jumbo frets have really taken over the electric guitar industry, which really annoys me every time I demo an acoustic. I'm like, what are these beautiful tiny frets? Why don't you put them in electric for a fella? I'm like, we're playing these little 9-gauge strings. We can use the little frets. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, it's everyone wants to play 11s with jumbo frets. Fuck off.
No, I want to play 9s with jumbo frets.
Right, yeah.
I just don't want to feel the fretboard. I'm so used to it. So yeah, when I play something which does have, vintage, Fender spec or whatever, the idea of my fingertips dragging across the fretboard all the time is just the strangest thing to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas, I'm the opposite.
Do you have any scallop fretboards in the house? I guess your Steve Weidnick is. Yeah.
Well, they're the top 4 are scallop, but I've had a couple of Malmsteen Strats. The best scallop guitar I had was we all know how uninspiring Ovations are. So as an experiment, I scalloped one. It was amazing. Absolutely brilliant. It got like twice as loud, twice as detailed. They should all be scalloped.
I can't play one anyway, so I can't play scallop, so that wouldn't work.
Well, funnily enough, the thing I found interesting with playing fully scalloped fretboards was that the stuff that I expected to be tricky, like playing chords, that was fine. The stuff that it's supposed to help was problematic for me, like legato. I could not play legato well on a fully scalloped board.
I can see it, yeah.
Because I think it was against I like to play with a light touch, so. And speaking of which, I'm kind of disgusted. I might have to write a letter to Ibanez. My first Ibanez that I ever bought, my yellow 550, I bought it brand new in the summer of '87. I think it needs a refret.
Bastards.
Yeah. Seems like shoddy workmanship to me.
Well, that was it the last time I played the Epiphone Les Paul, Steve. I bitched at Aljon Go about it. He showed it in my chat because that's a 1997 made in Korea that was sweat all over and abused for years. And 2 years ago, the pickups went microphonic in it, completely microphonic. I'm like, the hell? This thing retailed for probably upwards of $300 30 years ago.
Right.
What the hell? It should last.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got a couple of. Do I have to duck to show this? There is a Silvertone 1482. There we go. And I have 2 of them. They're both 63s. They both have the wonderfully appropriate square hole for the round speaker.
Of course.
Which obviously makes them sound the way they do. But I set them up in stereo. This is my place, probably 15 years ago. Set them up in stereo. Well, that's really cool. I'm going to move them into this room, and I'm going to have that as a little practice rig. And between the 2 rooms, the power switch on one of them just broke. And I thought, do I have to write a letter to Sears? It's only 48 years old, and the bloody power switch is broken. Like, what the hell?
At least 50 years.
Yeah, at least, right? So, yeah.
Whatever happened to Igniter amps, they got absorbed by boutique amp distribution.
Yep, which was always kind of the way. It's still Bruce Igniter. He's just doing Synergy now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing all the synergy stuff.
Which, interestingly enough, I have an Ignator Mod 100 head in my workshop right now, doing the mods that enable it to accept the Synergy modules.
Nice.
Yeah. Which is nothing fancy. I don't want to make it sound like I'm like a rocket scientist or anything. It's moving a couple of ground tabs that are physically in the way. So, yeah, it's not very high tech.
But you know which tabs to move.
Well, plus his effects loop is noisy, so I'm going to sort that out, and his impedance selector is broken, so I will repair that as well. But there you go.
I was just about to wrap things up, Steve, and Steve in the chat, as opposed to Steve on the screen. Steve Reese, Razor, Steve in the end. Steve, fun show tonight. He says with Spotlight on Steve. Now you see what he did there. It was a bad album cover last week called Spotlight on Steve. Great to know him better. I agree. I wouldn't say Ignator was a dude that sold out.
No, he's a very, very talented, knowledgeable guy who he's made stuff for tons of people.
Yeah,
he did a lot of Randall stuff in the 90s. And
he did a stint at Fender.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
Although who hasn't?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, exactly.
But,
so from that point of view, no, it's the modern business model for a lot of companies is that they, with the way things are, smaller companies can't stand on their own, really.
Yep, and I think he still does his courses.
Yep, he still builds amps.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know,
They just don't really push it per se. So.
No.
Yeah. Well, we should probably wrap things up, folks. That was an awesome 2 hours just went by like that. And so I will be back tomorrow with Connect Some Guitars. So if you aren't already, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell or something. I don't know. Hit the like, share me around. Like I'd like to be shared around, like Kinky.
Why not?
Here, Steve. Of course, we'll talk.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
It's been a
And
great.
I just realized there's an Ignator right there. I do still have a couple.
There you go.
Yep.
And there we go. So as always, folks, hold those doors open. Let Mark Taft in heading in traffic because he doesn't drive. Not sure why, but just let him go. Just let him go. Be good to each other. Happy tone chasing. Karma is real. Believe it, I know. Be good to each other, and of course, don't litter.